actually thinks that relations are persons because that's the Thomistic teaching. When no, a relation is something that a subject has, right? A subject has a relation. A relation is a predicate. Subjects, persons, he, the Father. So he doesn't understand these basic distinctions that the Eastern Church Fathers make, which he would have done a lot better to actually have read these Eastern Church Fathers or to actually read maybe some of the academic texts from his own theologians about the Filioque, admitting that a lot of these quote mines don't actually work to prove anything and actually work against his case because, again, he wants to downplay his own church's dogmatic definition, and he's patently totally false. I've got scholars here right next to me for years have been talking about the fact that Constantinople I closed outside of communion with Rome. St. Meletius of Antioch was in schism with Rome. He doesn't even know that. And so he just says, Google it, which again shows he's deficient, totally deficient in this area. It's the Meletian schism is famous. Basil writes about it in his letters. And in fact, Basil says Rome is absolutely worthless. They contribute nothing to helping the church in the East. They're a waste of time. Doesn't sound like papal supremacy to me. But what do you expect from people who don't know what the Cappadocians taught? They just think that they do because, well, I can read it all through Thomas Aquinas. Thomas Aquinas, when he argues against the Filioque in contra against the errors of the Greeks, I've got the recently printed book here. Guess what? It's like 60, 70% forgeries. So shout out to George, our good buddy, and he just published a 2-volume Errors of the Latin's text. The second volume is all about forgeries, and one of those key forgeries is against the errors of the Greeks, Thomas Aquinas. And it's entirely possible that Aquinas legitimately believed that all the sources he was reading were authentic. But now we know, and it's now admitted in the scholarship, the Vatican admits it as well. I've got the Alexandria document, which, by the way, I don't know if Tim ever had the time to read his own Vatican statement about the East, both in Chieti and here. It admits most of the positions that I'm arguing for.
Okay, so like I said, let's get some ones and twos in the chats. I want to read a couple of the super chats that we have here as we get into the cross-examination. Give them just a second to get their questions in line of what they want to talk about. Reminding you that, Buddy PPL said, Tim has been forsaken. Everyone got to donate to the stream or y'all are Yacubians, like I mentioned. After that, Tango Ocho said, let's go. I also have a couple of critics. Late Night Tweakers, a critic of Tim, sent $2, said, I feel embarrassed for Tim now. However, let's talk God. Said, FYI, all polytheist idols are created. Tim might be a polytheist, but others are saying Jay Dyer ain't no Yacubian. You're not Yacubian. Okay. Servant Nectoria said, Jay, keep it up. RCC is a joke. I'm sure that's a Roman Catholic church. Maximus said, what I say has nothing to do with Jay. Also, we have Let's Talk God said, question for Tim. Heaven is created. How can you see the divine essence in heaven in the beatific vision, aka creation? I don't think we're gonna answer those questions right now. Don Vicious said this is all retarded. Splitting hairs over divine theosophy leads no one to Christ. We also have Real Carl says no matter what you think, who you think is winning, we are all better off knowing this conversation is drowning out James White's gay lisp. Also. We have Machine Santo for $2, and there's a Jay looking 20 years older, but he's defined cooking. Okay.
It's these gay ass glasses I gotta wear.
Hey, it's, you know what? Dude, trust me, man. I've aged so much. I see myself, I've only been doing this for like about a decade now. When I first started, I looked like a teenager, looked like a nice little kid, and now I'm like nearly look dead. War Thunderer sent $30. So Tim was talking about potential equivocations in the start, yet his arguments hinges on them. He sneaks in, quote, denying actus purus, passive potency, as well as sneaking in ortho real distinction, scholastic major real distinction. We also had Dork Jansen said, please ask mods to ban anyone in the chat who says that we should act more civil in chat. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can go to war. And then True41C said, Tim said we can't experience any uncreatedness of God as creatures, so how does the incarnation work? I'll read two more here before we'll move on to the cross-examination. Cult of Modernism said, and quote, we deny the Son is either a cause or a father, but although we do not say that the Spirit is from the Son, we call him the Spirit of the Son. And he quotes there, and I think that's perhaps probably Latin, and I'm not going to try to read it. Machine Santo also said, I wonder if he believes the Son is begotten by the Son because the Son does what he sees the Father doing. And one more quote from the same culto was the second part. He said, the Holy Spirit is a spirit of the Father as proceeding from the Father and is the Son's spirit, not as originating from him, but as proceeding through him from the Father alone is cause. All right, you guys can keep sending your super chats. We'll be reading some more after this. We're going to jump into the cross-examination. If you're just joining the stream here, it's where they can ask questions and then interrupt. This is a very strict format that they've agreed to, and a lot of you are enjoying it. With a few thousand of you watching across the platforms, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. Let's begin here with Timothy Gordon representing the Catholic position. I'm going to reset the clock. Give me one moment. I got to get out of the super chats. Your time starts now.
Jay, you think triadic relations of opposition don't exist?
Triad is 3. Opposition is 2.
Precisely.
So there's no opposition in a triad.
So within a triad, there cannot be individual relations of opposition.
It's relations of origin in our view.
No, not in your view. As a matter of nature, have you ever played paper, scissors, rock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you understand that paper, scissors, rock is at heart triadic relations of opposition, which you just said don't exist?
The triad is not like paper, rock, scissors.
No.
That would be
It's an analogy.
Modalism.
No. No, you said that can't exist because 2 is indivisible within 3. Relations of opposition, we have, so as the Trinity, scissor, paper, rock, paper, these can exist. Filiality can exist with fatherhood. You said this to Christian Wagner. Do you care to amend your statement? It's a major logical error.
You think that relations of opposition
Describe
is
the
the same
persons.
thing as relations of origin? That's what I disagreed with
You
him
said there's a
about.
mathematical problem, that 2 doesn't go into
Because
3.
a dyad is not a triad.
But you understand that there can be relations of opposition within a triad. Speaking naturally.
There's not. Not in the divine triad, no.
No, well, explain why it's
I
different in the divine. I just
because
demonstrated there is a triadic relation of
you
opposition.
just said it. You didn't
I
demonstrate
did.
it.
No, I
you
demonstrated
didn't.
it.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so you're
You
going to play
said
the
it,
game
you
with
didn't
me.
demonstrate it.
So,
I'm not playing any
so
games.
paper, scissors, rocks doesn't exist.
That's not the triad.
That is a triad. That's 3. There. Do you?
That's not what a triad
How many
is.
positions are there
I don't
within
think you know
paper,
what a
scissors,
triad.
rock?
You think
3.
a triad is just 3?
3.
That's not what
yeah.
a triad is.
And
No,
how
it's
many opposition relations
That's not
are
what
there?
the triad is.
So
you have a different triadology, and that's why this doesn't work.
Explain why it's different in the Trinity.
Because it
works perfectly.
Because you say that, but you don't know our position. Relations.
I'm asking within the position of the Trinity, not your position.
Shut up and let me answer
I'm
your
asking
question.
your position.
Relations of origin is our position, not relation of opposition.
See,
and
this
you
is
don't,
just equivocation. Wait, no, I've heard enough. That's equivocation on a term.
equivocation.
You said that
the
there
orthodox
cannot,
position is equivocation.
I'll quote you.
You're not even familiar with our position.
I'll quote
Maybe you should have read
to
our
Christian
position.
Wagner. I'm talking to one dude. Triadic relations of opposition cannot exist because 2 doesn't go into 3.
That's
This
not what I
doesn't work.
said. I said a dyad is what opposition is. I didn't say 2 doesn't go into
No,
3.
that's
Now
contrariety.
you're
You're
stuff.
mistaking contrariety and opposition.
You don't know.
You can have
don't even
opposition
know
within a
the
relationship
patristic-
opposition.
You don't know how patristic.
So you haven't played paper,
patristic
scissors,
number
rock.
theory is not your
Ever out there.
specialty.
The way
you don't
that-
know what a dyad
the way
is.
that paper-
Maximus
Can you
argues
make
for
him be
a
quiet?
dyad.
Yeah, I was going to say he's asking you to cut your response. He wants to continue on with his questioning.
Yeah.
No, he
so
just wants a
within
gotcha.
a
He doesn't
triad,
want an actual
within a
answer.
triad, you can have oppositions, and it doesn't
say
contradict
that.
the triad. I showed
The
that.
Trinity
I
is
showed
not
that.
a created. No, you didn't show that. You
showed-
just said it.
It's an analogy.
Oh, well, how do you know? How do you know it matches up to the triad? You don't.
No, I didn't say it matches up to the triad. You're not cross-examining
Then your
me.
analogy doesn't work.
I thought we. Yeah, it does.
That's the thing in
It
question.
works perfectly.
Because you say
Filiality,
so.
filiality, and fatherhood. Those are opposed within a trinity. You're saying they're not opposed?
That's not what relations of
Okay,
opposition.
forget my
is
analogy.
Compared to
I want to press on
relations
this.
of origin.
This is the most important distinction within the entire filioque. Wait, hold on. So you're saying
it's not.
that filiation and fatherhood are not opposed in the traditional ways of a couple.
Will you let me answer this?
Please, are they opposed?
There are relations.
Are they opposed?
Let me finish. We do not believe in cashing out who the persons are by relations of opposition because it's relative.
So filiation and fatherhood are not
Because
opposed.
it's relative.
Yeah, because
You
we
can
have because
talk
there's the
about
third party.
relations.
They're not opposed.
You can talk about relations in the triad, but they don't ground the persons. That's Losky's critique of this. You could have just read the things I sent you, and then you want to be asking me
No,
these
no,
questions. Because you didn't read anything I sent you.
I asked you very specifically, can there be
You
an
don't
oppositional
understand
relation?
the terms that I'm telling you from our
No,
from
what
our
you
paradigm.
don't understand is the way that dichotomies work. we can
There's no
conceive,
dichotomies
we
in the
can,
Trinity.
All I was showing mathematically is that we can conceive of a triad that has 3 parts and 3 relations that are all dyadic.
But there's no
that
parts.
are all,
There's no parts.
Yeah,
in the
so you
Trinity.
got that
That's
wrong.
Why it doesn't work.
It's just wrong.
There's parts in the
It
Trinity.
doesn't work.
There's parts in the Trinity. No, there's
Of
not.
course not.
Right. So that's why it doesn't work.
But there are relations of opposition.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
There's relations of origin.
Well-
why don't you just understand our position before trying to trap me on your position? I don't hold to your position.
Is there a single Eastern thinker between Photius and Blackstone? Okay, so we got that. So there can be relations of opposition between some trinities.
I never granted any of this.
Is there a single Eastern thinker between Photius and Blackstone who embraces the eternal procession, or are they all just believers in economic procession for those 400 years? Can you
For
name
what?
a single thinker
That says
between 800 and 1250 who says that there is an eternal procession from the Son to the Holy Spirit?
Energetic procession is taught in the Tomos against John Beckos. It's in our council.
Okay, wait. So
So you think you don't know what our councils teach?
I'm asking you.
Right. But
So
you said,
there
is
is-
there a single person, and you're not
Can you
aware of it?
list
You're
what
not
that
aware
is?
of the Tomos against John Beckos.
Oh, you guys have 30 seconds on,
But
on an
is
extension.
what? So can you explain to me what that is?
It's
what
a
the teaching
document
is?
from the Palamite synods.
In
the
what
Tomos
year?
against John Beckos.
Palamite synods. What year?
They're in the 1300s.
Okay, no, I said
There's
I said
4 of
between
them.
800 and 1250. I picked the dates for a specific reason.
What if Gregor,
Because it's
if
very important to
Gregor
my
Cyprus-
case. The Catholic case is that between Photius and Ceriolarius, they completely botched the understanding of what filioque is, and then for the next 450 years, they reduced all the relations between the Son and the Holy Spirit to economic ones. And then when they came back around the time of the council you're citing, that they came back and parsed language. It's eternal, but it's not hypostatic.
All right, we're going to have to cut that there. And if you want to continue to respond to that, we're going to have to move
Yeah.
over to Jay Dyer. Let me go ahead and reset this. And you have 5 minutes on the clock. I gave him a minute bleed because it was interesting. I'll give you an extra minute bleed if you need to as well. The time starts now.
It's a stupid argument because I showed you from Sashensky that he says Basil talks about eternal manifestation. The very quote that you gave from Nyssa about the movement of the energies, you didn't even know that it's energetic procession. So you read things and you quote things, no idea what the context is, or that it's actually disproving you.
Not true. You're begging the question.
Were you begging the question?
Yeah, energetic
You cited-
procession. What
you
does that
cited-
even mean?
You cited Nyssa, every operation moves from the Father through the Son and then the Spirit.
Precisely.
What do you think operation is there?
What do you mean? What is
What's the
operation?
word?
What is?
What's the word in the
it
Greek?
means hypostatic.
What's the word for operation?
You're begging
in
the
Greek
question
there?
because
you don't know.
You're begging the question
I'm begging the
because
question.
yeah.
What's the word for the Greek?
energetic procession?
What's the word in
Is
the Greek?
what you use to avoid saying that it moves through
You
the person
cited
of the
Nyssa,
Son.
You goober.
Yeah,
What's
no,
the word?
No. What are you talking
What
about?
is the word
The-
in the Greek for operation there?
I don't know. Energeia.
It's energeia.
Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
just said.
So the movement of the
procession for those 400 years. Can you
For
name?
what? Council.
Okay, wait. So
you think
is that between between is
To move
Yeah.
over to Jay Dyer.
even know that it's energetic procession. So you read things and you quote things, no idea what the context is, or that it's actually disproving you. Were
not
you,
true. You're begging the question.
Were you begging the question?
Yeah, energetic
You cited-
procession. What
you
does that
cited-
even mean?
You cited Nyssa, every operation moves from the Father through the Son and then the Spirit.
Precisely.
What do you think operation is there?
What do you mean? What is
What's the
operation?
word?
What is? Well,
What's the word in the
it
Greek?
means hypostatic.
What's the word for operation?
You're begging
in
the
Greek
question
there?
because
you don't know.
You're begging the question
I'm begging the
because
question.
yeah.
What's the word for the Greek?
energetic procession?
What's the word in
Is
the Greek?
what you use to avoid saying that it moves through
You
the person
cited
of the
Nyssa,
Son.
You goober.
Yeah,
What's
no,
the word?
No. What are you talking
What
about?
is the word in the Greek for operation there?
I don't know.
It's
Energeia.
energeia.
Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
just said.
So the movement
So
of the energies
energeia,
in your quote.
But except energeia has 3 definitions that are susceptible of meaning there. You would.
No, it
this is
doesn't.
what I
So you
warned
just-
people
you
about at the
didn't
very
even know
beginning.
your own quotes.
Energeia, yeah, I did.
You don't
I
read
said
the cap-
energeia.
No, you don't.
Which can mean either operation, it can mean action, it can mean work, it can mean product.
You just admitted you didn't know what the word was.
No,
there.
what I said is that the
you not?
filioque
You didn't just say
requires.
that.
So if it's energetic,
All right, we're going to move on.
If it's a
'cause he
work,
didn't know. We're
All right,
moving on.
wait,
all right, we're moving
No,
on.
you
We're moving
didn't
on.
how
know.
does that
It's
show
my-
that it's not hypostatic?
That has nothing to do with the fact that you misunderstood the quote.
No,
about-
I
the
didn't
quote-
misunderstand
shut
it at
up.
all. I didn't
The
misunderstand
quote is
it at
about
all.
energetic procession. You didn't know that because you didn't know what word it
Absolutely did.
was.
Yes, I did. I said it before you
lied.
did. You're
you
not,
just lied because you said
people
a
heard
minute
me
ago
say
you
it.
didn't know
I
what
said,
it was.
I don't know. Energeia. But the point
So
is,
you didn't know.
you're begging the question.
Did you know?
As to
Did you know? Why are
it before
you
you
misunderstood the
requires.
that.
So if it's energetic,
we're gonna move on,
if it's a
'cause he
work,
did
it can mean work. It can mean warn
just-
people
you
about it at the
didn't
very
even know
beginning
your own-
that are susceptible of meaning there.
You would.
3 definitions.
So
So
energies,
energeia.
inspiration there.
I don't know.
It's
Energeia.
energeia.
Yeah, that's what I
exactly.
just said.
So the movement
So
of the energies
energeia,
in your quote.
But except energeia has 3 definitions.
The movement
so
of the energies
energeia,
in your quote.
But except no. What are you talking
What
about?
is the word in the Greek for operation there?
I don't know. Energeia.
It's energeia.
Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
just said.
So the movement of the energies in your quote.
But except energeia has 3 definitions that are susceptible of meaning there.
You would. No,
this is what I warned people about at the very
beginning. You
beginning.
didn't even know your own quotes.
Energeia, yeah, I did.
You don't
I
read
said
the
energeia.
No, you don't.
Which can mean either operation, it can mean action, it can mean work, it can mean product.
You just admitted you didn't know what the word was.
No,
there.
what I said is that the
Did you not?
filioque
You didn't just say
requires.
that.
So if it's energetic,
All right, we're going to move on.
If it's a
'cause he
work,
didn't know. We're
All right,
moving on.
wait.
All right, we're moving
No,
on.
you
We're moving
didn't
on.
how
know.
does that
it's
show
my-
that it's not hypostatic?
That has nothing to do with the fact that you misunderstood the quote.
No,
about-
I
the
didn't
quote-
misunderstand
shut
it at
up.
all. I
All
didn't
right, the quote is
misunderstand it at
about
all.
energetic procession. You didn't know that because you didn't know what word it
Absolutely
was.
did. Yes, I did. I said it
You
before you
lied.
did. You're
you
not,
just lied because you said
people
a
heard
minute
me
ago
say
you
it.
didn't know
I
what
said,
it was.
I don't know. Energeia. But the point
So
is,
you didn't know.
you're begging the question
Did you know?
as to
Did you know? Why are you lying?
persons versus
Why do you
energies.
have to lie?
I'm
The
not
question isn't you're changing the subject because you just got caught lying.
I didn't get caught lying. I said
Now you're
energeia
lying
before
again.
you did.
You
Why,
said, "I don't
why does
know.
it matter so
Is
much?
it energeia?"
Here's how Jay proves
Because no, see, now
that
you-
energetic
it's-
procession
I'm
is
gonna
the
move
term.
on.
Yeah,
because-
okay, I was gonna say,
because
look,
he
we're going
didn't
in
know.
circles right now, and we're gonna have to
We're gonna
agree
move
to
on.
disagree. We'll
You
move on to
said-
the next section.
You said if one
You have 3 minutes.
if one cannot spirate, they're less. Does the spirit produce a person?
It's ridiculous.
I don't care if you think it's ridiculous. Answer it.
We repeat the question.
You said if one cannot spirate, they're less. Talking about the sun, right?
Well, I was talking about all 3 persons.
Oh, so the spirit spirates?
Yeah, passively.
The spirit
The
spirates?
spirit spirates passively.
He produce. Well, who does he produce?
What does he produce? He spirates passively. You've
Who?
never heard
Who?
the distinction?
No. Who does the spirit produce?
The spirit produces passively.
Who?
Yeah,
Who?
himself.
The spirit.
Active.
The spirit
you've ne-
produces himself.
Have you never heard the distinction between active and passive spiration?
So is the
Have you?
Is the essence the source?
All you do
Are you
is you
gonna
come in
answer
here and
the-
you say,
Oh, here we go.
according
Now
to
he's
my
getting
theology,
mad.
it's this.
No, I'm asking
according
you
to
your
Catholic
position.
theology,
I'm asking
our
you your
theology
position.
is passive
He just- he
spiration
just-
of the
All
spirit.
right, you got to answer the question.
I
Passive
asked you-
inspiration.
We're not going to run the clock. We gotta-
Who the Holy Spirit precedes?
He spirates passively, which means
Himself?
it's done to him. Yes, he receives it.
You-
Active versus passive. So yes, he himself is spirated. We call that active spiration.
Look
Did
what
you
God-
even know that?
No, it's the Son.
Are you
You're
familiar?
I'm
Are you
asking
familiar
you
with
who
our
the Holy
theology?
Spirit? You're saying the Holy Spirit produces Himself.
No, I said
That's
the
what
Holy
you
Spirit
just said.
receives spiration from, and this is called passive spiration.
Who does He spirate?
He doesn't actively spirate.
Who does He spirate?
Done to him? Yes, he receives it. Passive spiration.
So is the no? Who does the Spirit produce?
the spirit produces passively.
Who?
Yeah,
Who?
himself.
The Spirit.
Active.
The Spirit
You've ne-
produces Himself.
Have you never heard the distinction between active and passive? Active.
The Spirit
You've ne-
produces Himself.
Have you never heard the distinction between the spirit produces passively?
Who?
Yeah,
Who?
himself.
The Spirit.
The spirit produces passively.
Who?
Yeah,
Who?
himself.
The Spirit.
Active.
The Spirit
You've ne-
produces Himself.
Have you never heard the distinction between active and passive spiration?
So is the
Have you?
Is the essence the source?
All you do
Are you
is you
gonna
come in
answer
here
the-
and you say,
Oh, here we go.
according
Now
to
he's
my
getting
theology,
mad.
it's this.
No, I'm asking
according
you
to
your
Catholic
position.
theology,
I'm
our
asking you your
theology
position.
is passive
He just- he
spiration
just-
of the
All
spirit.
right, you got to answer the question.
I
Passive
asked you-
spiration.
We're not going to run the clock. We gotta-
Who the Holy Spirit precedes?
He spirates passively, which means
Himself?
it's done to him. Yes, he receives it.
You-
Active versus passive. So yes, he himself is spirated. We call that active spiration.
Look
Did
what
you
God-
even know that?
No, it's the Son.
Are you
You're
familiar?
I'm
Are you
asking
familiar
you
with
who
our
the Holy
theology?
Spirit? You're saying the Holy Spirit produces Himself.
No, I said
That's
the
what
Holy
you
Spirit
just said.
receives spiration from, and this is called passive spiration.
Who does he spirate?
He doesn't actively spirate.
Who does he spirate? You said he has to spirate to have the same power.
You're just playing games
No,
with
you
the
got
distinction.
caught again because you don't know the basics.
Father, Son actively spirate. You think it's the Father
You
only.
said-
In Roman
No,
Catholic theology,
Don't tell me what I think.
the Holy
You're not
Spirit
answering- He's not
passive
answering
spirates.
the question. He's
Passively
claimed
spirates.
that the Holy.
I'm just telling you how our theology has it.
You're just talking.
and you're
yapping
insisting on.
because I've got you on this.
You have not.
You said that if you don't produce a person, you're
Ridiculous.
subordinate. Who does the Holy Spirit produce?
No, I said spirate. You have to spirate.
If you don't have,
Back up the record,
Does the
Jay.
Son have the same power as the Father?
Yes,
Does the Spirit have that power?
the Spirit has a different power,
Which
but
is to what?
It's
Produce who?
distinguishable.
To produce who?
No, it's a passive
To
spiration.
produce who?
Which is not the same thing as
So-
actively producing.
So he doesn't.
I thought the
so he's
language
not a
would be clear.
cause. So the Spirit's not a cause.
You've never heard this
Is the Spirit
distinction
a
in Roman
cause?
Catholic theology?
Is the Spirit a cause?
Have you ever heard this
Is
distinction
the
in Roman
Spirit, he's
Catholic
not answering.
theology?
He won't answer the questions because he doesn't
Is
know.
the Spirit a cause
Is the
of
Spirit a
what?
cause?
Is the Spirit a
Do you
cause
want,
of
at
you want me
all.
to add
In
another
any
30
sense.
seconds on the clock to get an answer, or do you want to end the question
No,
and
I
ask
want to
another
add
one?
it.
All right.
Is the Holy Spirit
30
also
seconds.
a cause?
He is the cause insofar as he's passively
Of
spirated.
who or what?
Of who or what?
Exactly. He just lost.
No, didn't
Of who,
lose.
you asked me my
Do you know
question
our
to you.
theology?
You're
Had you ever heard the
collapsing.
distinction?
You're here to tell me what your theology is.
No.
You're not. Okay.
Every time I ask you, you say, "Do you know our theology? Do you know our theology?"
No answers.
No, you don't.
No answers.
You claim you
No
were
answers.
Catholic.
You
I don't claim I
subordinated
was
the Holy
Orthodox.
Spirit. You're just making it ad hom.
No.
Ad homs.
And
who does the Holy Spirit
by the
produce?
way, the
Who does-
reason-
so he won't answer.
No, you
right.
opened
Who
up
does the
by
Holy Spirit
saying,
produce?
You opened up by
Who?
saying,
Why won't you answer?
no, you just said.
Who? Yeah, exactly.
I said,
you're silent.
Our term
Silent.
is passive spiration. No, you won't. You won't accept that
You said
people have
he's- you
different
said he produces.
terminological
Who?
bases for
Explain
making
it.
the
Who?
claim that
Who?
we don't accept subordinationism.
I know you don't accept it, but I'm telling you how you have it.
Orthodox
Who does he produce?
say it's
Tu quoque.
subordinationism if it's
Tu quoque.
if it's the Son and the
Tu
Spirit
quoque.
together. All you're doing is insisting on your upside
You
down
have
triangle.
no answer. You just
I-
sat there
I
in
have an answer.
silence.
I said
Your
active,
answer isn't answering
active
my question.
spiration,
You're just
Father and
yapping.
Son. No, I'm not.
You said the
Active
Holy
spiration,
Spirit
Father,
produce-
Son.
Who does the Holy Spirit
Holy
produce?
Spirit produces.
Who?
He passively spirates.
Who?
Who what? It's
Who does he
Do you
spirate?
understand the difference between an
He
active verb
passively
and a
spirates
passive
who?
verb?
He is the cause of who?
Do you understand the
Who
difference
is he
between
the
an
cause
active
of?
verb and a passive
Answer it
verb?
for me. Who's he the cause
An
of?
active verb is
Who
transitive.
is the Spirit the cause of?
Do you not understand?
You called him a cause.
He's not transitive.
You called him a cause.
Do you understand transitivity?
You're not going to answer. He won't answer.
He's a passive cause. I just
Of
gave
who?
the answer.
Of
According
who?
to Roman Catholic
Of
theology,
who?
he is a
All right.
passive.
Of who?
Because we're over on time, let's do this. Here's I'm gonna.
Of who?
I want to leave it with two questions. He's
Nothing.
asking you a question,
Nothing.
and you
Passive.
ask him
Of
what he
who?
means. Ask the question clearly, and I want to hear just a simple answer, and we'll leave it at that. What is the question? Repeat it. What is the one question?
the cause of who?
Go ahead.
What
Tim.
is the cause of him?
Exactly.
So we're
No,
answering
I'm
questions.
asking, can you
We're
reframe the
asking,
question?
I'm
We're
done.
asking
I'm done.
questions to questions, which, to be fair, I feel
He
like
said, of
If
who?
you- As the moderator, you know that's bullshit.
I'm saying it's the point to where I feel like we've gone in a complete circle. I'm going to say completely unbiased here and say we can't come to a conclusion when we're asking questions to questions, so we will just leave it there. We will move here.
Can
I
I
think,
can I make a response?
yeah, you can make a response or ask one question, but it's got to be a simple, to the point, not a paragraph. Just what's the
Sure.
statement?
So in Roman Catholic theology, we say active spiration by the Father and the Son, passive spiration by the Spirit. Passive means that one is not acting but is acted upon. It is a passive potency. If
I asked you
will.
if he's a cause, and you said he was.
No, there,
Yes, you did.
There's one sole cause. Are you talking arche? I thought you were talking
One
arche.
sole cause is the. I just asked. You said.
Yeah,
he's
I don't
a-
know. You're spitting
used
out
the
sentence
term.
fragments.
You
I didn't
used
know
the
what
term.
I sincerely didn't know what you.
You
I was
used
saying
the term that the Spirit's a cause.
the
You said
Spirit
yes.
is a passive spirator.
of who?
And I said, this doesn't make sense in the context of active and passive.
So he doesn't have. He's not a cause. Is he
So
a cause?
you're making it like there's
Is
a
he a
flaw.
cause or
There's
not?
not. This is just how
Is
we
he a
explain.
cause or not?
This is how we explain.
So he won't
the
answer.
monarchia.
You don't
and,
explain it.
And John chapter
You're-
16.
You're dodging the basic question.
I'm not
and
dodging.
You said 20 things
I'm
contradicting
not dodging,
yourself.
Jay. All I'm seeking to do is exegete John 16.
I asked you
the
if he's a
fact
cause.
that
You said he
Jesus
was.
said Jesus says
said he's
everything
a
the Father
cause.
has, I have as well. And you said,
Accept
well,
the
but isn't that
causality.
subordinationism?
Accept the causality.
You're trying to drive the position into subordinationism, and I'm saying, no, there's such a thing as passive
I
spiralation.
understand you're saying that, but
Well, I'm
you said
showing
it's
you.
a cause.
Well, I'm going to jump
You didn't
into
show
this.
anything. You just
I'm gonna
said
say,
it.
No,
are you
that's
satisfied?
our view.
Are you
That's
Jay,
our view.
Are you satisfied?